Welcome to the Untrapped podcast, where we're motivated and inspired about success, small business, and personal development. And now, Keith Kalfas.
See the shovel? Back when I was mid-20s, I was broke. I worked a dead-end lawn care and landscaping job. I hated my life. I lived in a crappy little apartment. I was in debt. I got the chance to hang out with an entrepreneur who was a multi-millionaire. He owned tons of real estate and businesses. I think he said it was worth $27 million. I went to his house. The guy had a stable and horses and all this stuff. Very lucky to spend a day hanging out with this guy. I said, I want to start a business, but I'm broke. I don't have any money. He goes, you don't need money to start a business. I'm like, you're out of your mind. Now I'm telling him he's out of his mind because I want to start a landscape business and I need like 20 grand. How am I going to afford all this equipment? See this shovel? This guy came up and got in my face. He was maybe a 55-year-old man. And I'm like a young cat. You want to know how to start a business? You want to start a landscaping business? I'm like, yeah. He goes, you go to Home Depot, you get a shovel and start effing knocking on doors. Get a shovel and go start knocking on doors. And I'm like, all right, this guy's nuts. He's out of his mind. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just trying to be a showboaty rich guy and thinks I'm just a kid. And I left that day and I was angry and I thought about that for many, many days and many nights. And I went back to my piece of crap, dead-end job, making $12 an hour. I was miserable. A year and a half later, I'm on a property working. It was a high-profile client. I couldn't dig anymore. I'm digging. Check this out. I'm digging. We're doing like luxury garden bed maintenance and planting, okay? I'm edging out a garden bed. Edging out this. I mean, we're doing an entire complex. My feet are covered in bruises, even though I'm wearing steel-toed boots. It was 100 degrees out, and that's all I did. I was a slave at this job. It was a secure job, but I was better than that, dude. I was dying inside to the point where I had no choice because I had bills to pay. And there comes a point, I ain't even gonna lie, there comes a point, and this is some of the best, it's rock bottom. I knew it that morning when I went to work.
If you are looking for the greatest software ever to run your business on, go to getjobber.com/Keith. You can create proposals, invoices, collect payments, and track your entire business directly on the Jobber smartphone app. If you want to get a totally free trial of Jobber right now, open your browser, type in getjobber.com/Keith, and after the trial, if you decide to sign up with Keith's link, you'll automatically get 20% off your first 6 months. So what are you waiting for? Go to getjobber.com/Keith.
I can't do this anymore. But this is a different type of I can't do this anymore. Because like I got a friend named Joshua Latimer. He does coaching. He's built a several $1 million business, but he coaches people. And he said something, one guy on the phone said, I'm at the end of my rope, one of his mentees. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this one more year. I can't do this. I'm burned out. I'm just dying inside. And Joshua says to him, he goes, don't feed me that crap. You can do this for 10 more years. Dealing with this suffering and with it. You're telling yourself you can't do it, but you could actually go through this for about 10 more years and you'll be saying the same thing. You think you're at the end of your rope and you can't do it no more. You're just crying, bitching, whining, and complaining. So I'm kicking the shovel, and all of a sudden, this feeling comes through my body. Well, actually, my body became void of feeling. All of the energy, all of my hope, everything, something just drained out of my body, and I dropped the shovel. I ain't even playing, dude, but like this. I don't want to be too loud in Home Depot, but dropped the shovel, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm already dead. I'm already dying inside. My fucking life isn't going anywhere. I'm already dead. I've been in this same spot for 5 years, and I'm already dead. So at this point, taking a risk and taking a chance, I'm all in the middle of Home Depot right now. Taking a risk and taking a chance isn't really taking a chance anymore, because I've already taken the biggest risk of all. And I've lost, and I'm losing in life because I'm still working this fucking dead-end job. And at this point, if I quit this very minute and I just went and walked and just found anything or started something, it would be better than this shit show. And I had to take full responsibility for the decisions that I had made and my sticking my head in the sand all the way up to that point. But I had bills to pay. It's true. It was like the decision had been made for me. I put the shovel down. A week later, I got fired from that job. Because, like it's like a bad relationship. I don't know, this is a little personal, but I was in a bad relationship one time when I was a young guy. And I didn't have the power to get out of it. I came from like a broken family, right? And I literally dropped to my knees and I prayed to God. I said, God, I don't have the power to get out of this and I'm dying inside. I need you now to take me out of this situation because I can't do it. A week later, I was out of that situation. It hurt a little bit, but boom, I was out. I had like literally just boom, like exploded into a different paradigm of life. And now I'm looking at the other side. It's like in a movie, like the Stargate, like you all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm fucking alive, dude. And I started my own fucking business with nothing out of the back of my wife's car, the trunk of my wife's car, with paper bags from Lowe's. Sorry, Home Depot. Literally with ads on Craigslist, and I was going around pulling people's weeds. I didn't care about my pride anymore. I didn't care. It didn't matter. I was pulling people's weeds, making money, and I built a 6-figure business out of nothing. You know how I did it? You want to know how I did it? I went to Home Depot, and I picked up a fucking shovel, and I started knocking on doors. That's how I fucking did it. Hey, I hope you liked the show. And if you like the Untrapped podcast and you get value from it, can you please take a minute and go over to Spotify and leave it a well-worded positive 5-star review? It helps boost the rankings on Spotify so the show can get to more people. Therefore, these messages can get out to more people and inspire more people so then they can go out and start their small businesses and crush it and get to the next level. It's a huge deal. All right, I'll see you in the next show.